I'm sure you know it's coming. What are you guys doing this week, or what have you guys been doing, I guess, to work on press coverage?
Well, it's something we work on every day. I think one of the issues with us is continuing to improve with our hands. Making sure our hands are up and ready and not letting the defender get his hands on us before we're able to release. So just improving our hand combat, I think, is going to be important.
What do you use? Do you use like the scout team corners to jam your guys in practice?
At times you use that. Sometimes they don't give you the best look you need anyway. So, but I think just more repetition on what we're teaching and just attention to detail in everything we're doing. So we really made an emphasis this week on that. We continue to do that, but obviously it didn't show up on Saturday, so we got to enforce it with it.
How much of that is strength and technique?
It's just technique. It's technique. There's a whole thing that goes with press release. Obviously, being able to move the defender, attacking the defender, but being great with your hands is probably as good as any. I mean, that's probably one of the most important parts.
The drops, was that a technique thing too, or is it a mental lapse?
That's a concentration thing. I played the position. I know that. I don't think anybody in our room doesn't have good hands, but it's a matter of focusing, concentrating on catching the ball before you run, squeezing the ball once you do. I mean, you're going to go against some good corners in this league, and they're taught to rip the ball out. So we have to do a good job of having strong hands and focusing on catching the ball.
Do those things become, I don't know, like mental? Like if you drop, you worry about that with your guys? Like if you drop one, then you worry that that's still in their head, they drop another?
That's part of the culture of a receiver, and you have to be able to move on past that. And you just have to be mentally tough enough to move on to the next play and say, hey, I'm going to go make the next play. But you can't let it linger, and I don't get that vibe from our guys at all.
What have you seen from DeCoven since he's come back to the offense?
Well, he's good. He brings good energy. Obviously, he's athletic. He's been getting a lot of reps in there. Obviously, he has a cast still on his hand. But I think he's able to catch the ball. It's a smaller cast now than what he had before. I think he'll be able to help us on Saturdays.
Do you think this first half playing these teams will help your receivers through the second half?
No doubt. And that's what we told our guys. We got to stay the course a little bit. We had a pretty rough schedule so far, and it's not going to get easier in this league. But just stay the course, keep working, and the weeks will come.
Here's what we thought of Jordan Lewis's interception against Wisconsin, and just is he's up there with some of the best, like one of the best cover corners you'll see all season.
I think so. We faced a good one at Washington. We faced a couple good ones in Iowa. We faced a good one last week. But he's as fluid as any of them. Really does a good job of transitioning. His closing speed, I think, is what separates him. When the ball is in the air, the guy can close on the ball and make plays. So we got to do a great job of one, winning on line of scrimmage. Two, if we do get an opportunity to stack them, we got to stack them and then compete for them.
Do you need more from, I'm going to point to two redshirt seniors in particular. Vance was obviously much hyped in the offseason, and I think he started training camp as a starter. I don't know if he has a catch. And then Carlton maybe only has 2 catches. Somebody, you need more from those two guys?
I think we need more from all of our seniors. One of the things we talk about in our room is they have to drive our room. And if the seniors aren't out there competing and making plays, you can't expect everybody else to do it. So we've had those conversations. I had conversations with Carlton. I've had conversations with Vance, and they understand that. It just has to show up on the field.
One more question.
Thanks.